Hello, hello. This is Rose, and I'm just putting out this video right now, real quick, because I want to let people know that we will be doing session number 3 of meditation and the internal map of reality course next week. We did part 1 and part 2 here on my Rose 777 channel. The first 2 times we're here on my channel in the mornings on Wednesdays, but this time next week, it's going to be in the evening, 5 p.m. my time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So we're going to switch it to the evenings, and hopefully that goes well. And if it does go well, then maybe that's when we'll do this going forward. So it would be before Jason's Secrets of Saturn stream and hopefully after Glowbusters. So maybe that will just be a cute, nice little spot for us to do our weekly sessions. And if that's not a good time, then we'll figure out a different one. But we're just playing it by ear right now. This is the beginning of the course, and it's going really well. And Steve has a little review video that he's put together that I'm going to play. And so I also have all of the links in the description of this video. So for next week, if you want to join us on YouTube, here's the link to that. And then if you want to watch on ROKFIN, I have it set to premium. So if you want to support me on ROKFIN, you can watch it on there. But like I said, it's free here on YouTube. And then to join the Patreon, here's the link to that. And what that gets you is basically the after show. The after show on the Internal Map of Reality Patreon channel that we have. And that's the actual course, Internal Map of Reality. And we talk all about what that is during our morning meditations. So if you want to get into meditation, I'm brand new at this. And so I'm helping Steve to present the college meditation course that he was teaching at the Halifax University in Nova Scotia. But he can't do that anymore because of all of the poppycock that's going on. So I'm basically helping him by hosting his sessions on my channel. And then I get the added benefit of being a student as well, because I've never really gotten into meditation up until now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and share the review of the last session with Steve right now, and then I'll be on my way. So let's go. Here we go.
Yes, hello, and welcome to a short review. Both Rose and I are finding it useful to do a short discussion about the Wednesday sessions. So I'll be just talking about the session that we had on the 24th of November, 2021, and just giving some of my thoughts about it and encouraging viewers who are interested in visiting our Patreon site. The link is in the description, and you can join our after session. So the first hour, we have a presentation and discussion, and the second hour, we do a variety of things. I'll explain that. So here is the agenda for session 1. And as I mentioned before, the sessions are part of a 10-session course. So each session will be broken into parts. And on the first day, that was 2 weeks ago, I did an introduction and gave you a bit of explanation of who I am and how I got here, and talked about modes of thinking. And then on Wednesday session, we went into the history of, from my point of view, the history of how it got to North America. That was mainly my orientations, how in the year 2021, I am here doing presentations on YouTube for people who want to learn meditation. How did that happen? So I take the orientation that our most complete written records of about meditation go mainly to India, to the Hindus, and then it continues on in the Eastern until much later on that we find good written records in Europe and the Mediterranean. Let me just slide forward to that section. So we look at around the Middle Ages that it became integrated into Western form of meditation. What I mean by that is an attachment form of meditation where you focus on a particular word or a particular theme or a particular thought. Whereas the classical form of meditation, you detach from thought. So we're learning both. And so these forms did migrate to North America in the early 1900s. And we talked about how yoga and so on. The point I was making is that it was an empty set. And the key components that were missing were the fundamental principles of one energy that ideally, when you sit and meditate, you want to get back to a source. And as a beginner, you might find when you sit down to meditate, there's a lot of distractions. And that's why we talk about learning to detach from all these distractions and thoughts. And eventually, through practice, you will get to the point where you can just sit and be quiet. And this might take whatever length of time it takes you, but through the detachment practice, you will eventually get so that you will be trained to be able to sit down. And the goal is to get closer to your personal source. And so we talked about that in terms of how to recognize what's true inside of you, right? The difference between beliefs and truths. And the idea that there is a form about the world around us, and that this form is content free, but yet it has information. So we're learning not from the content, but by the form and by nature, by getting close to our things. And we also talked about something called the observation effect. There were some principles that I won't go into now, but the big one I tend to focus on is something called the Four Noble Truths, the first three of which is that we suffer when we don't get what we want, and we suffer when we get things that we don't want, and then finally we suffer when we get what we want, and then it eventually goes away. So learning how to deal with all of those is important. So that was a great session. And then in the second hour, we went to discussing the internal map of reality with the members of that group, the core group. And the topics that came up there was the idea that when we are suffering or we're in some kind of pain, how we can begin to detach from them. And one idea that came in our discussion was the idea of substituting. So if you have a painful thought, you can get a thought that you feel good about and substitute that and then think that thought. And that's called substitution. And we'll actually be learning how to do that. And it's a viable. Ultimately, though, what you would prefer to do if you have uncomfortable thoughts that are causing suffering and pain and confusion is to just be able to detach from them and let them go. And so we'll talk about that as well. But overall, I thought the sessions went good. One of the things that Rose did near the end was she ended the stream, but we kept talking as a small group, unrecorded, so people could just voice their opinions. So the second hour is where we can listen to each individual talk and share their thoughts and opinions. Well, that's pretty much for a quick overview, and hopefully Rose and I can have a more in-depth discussion. So thanks for joining, and see you next Wednesday in this live session.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. I hope that was the correct review. I feel like he was reviewing the first episode. Did I accidentally play the not the most recent one? I hope that was correct. But I just want everyone to know that next week is going to be the third episode. And you can join us on our Patreon, or you can just join us on YouTube, or you can join me on ROKFIN, and all of the links are in the chat. And also, today we released on Crow 777 Radio a new episode, 372. I cannot believe that we are already at episode 372. And this episode is with Paul Unslaved. And I'm very, very excited that I have my own YouTube channel, because the best part of having my own YouTube channel is that I get to say all of the times when Crow and Jason make a mistake. And they made a mistake at the beginning of today's episode when they said that the first episode with Paul Unslaved was episode 312.5 for members only. But that is incorrect. That episode with Paul Unslaved was free for everybody because I thought it was so important that this information get out to everybody. So, as you can imagine, when I heard Crow make that mistake and say, check out Paul's first episode with us members only, episode 312.5, well, whoa, that really grinded my gears. So I'm just so grateful to have a YouTube channel so that I have that outlet. And also to tell everybody that to make up for that terrible mistake, everybody should go back to episode 312.5. And you should know how much I love that episode because I keep streaming it over and over again because it is free for everybody to know that you do not have to have a driver's license or registration or license plates in order to travel. And I just think that's so interesting. And even if you're the type of person who would never even think about doing that, because why would you want to spend your life living with, those ideas and worried about having to talk to cops? It's just interesting to note that you can do that. If that's how you want to live your life, you could totally do that. And so anyway, that I'm glad. So it's very good for me mentally to express myself right now, even though this is just supposed to be a promo for next week's meditation. I just also would like to shout out to JJ George. Good evening. It's so good to see you. And Cro-Magnon, Cro-Magnon made a very interesting comment that killers meditate before killing. That is a very interesting comment, something to meditate on. Why would you even bring that up? Well, uh, I guess we could talk about intent because meditation can be thought of as a tool. And so you could utilize meditation to do anything better than you may have done without meditating. So a killer may do better at his job or his perceived job if he meditated. But I would also like to just for the sake of for being argumentative, do you know that every killer does that? Maybe there's some crappy killers that got caught and it was because they didn't meditate. What do you think about that, Cro-Magnon? I would like to know what you thought of that. And also, hello, David Weiss. He is also lamenting over how crazy the world has gone. Yes, indeed, the world has gone crazy. And that is why I am even doing meditation, doing anything having to do with meditation. Prior to the world going crazy, I had not felt that such an occasion had come to pass that I absolutely needed it. And I just feel like now it's necessary for me. I've come to that point. But you already did it before. And that's so good. And Jason already did it before, and Crow already did it before. And all of these beautiful, wonderful people who are so successful in their lives and seem very zen, relaxed, like, they're just taking it as it comes. A lot of my heroes, they've at least tried it. So I'm jumping on the bandwagon. It's like a new beginning. It kind of reminds me of when I first decided, dare I say, that I would even look into flat earth. Oh my God. And before that, I just thought, it could be very interesting. I'm not really a science person. Seems like they've already gotten that covered. I'm really just basically interested on what's going on in the here and now. What is morality? What is ethical? What is correct? And let me just reference back to episode 312.5 with Paul Enslaved. I mean, that is the freaking point. But then you could also listen to the new episode with him, episode 372, that just came out today. Let's keep going up here. I also saw that Jana's in the chat, which is basically a freaking miracle because I just didn't even think that you ever listened to anything I ever did. I love you so much. And if you are even still listening at 4:19 p.m. Central, when it looks like you posted that at 4:07 Central, well then, oh my gosh, I'm just, honored. And I am privileged to have you, my friend, because the work that you do at www.janaesp.com is better than anything I've ever done. Let me just put that there. So, and then hello, I see that we have a Facebook user. I'm definitely going to go check the Secrets of Saturn group to see who you are, since you did not give StreamYard permission, which I totally honor and respect. And we have Stax Farmstead and Juan. Hello, and John Wayne. I am very lucky that you guys have come over. You can confirm about the meditating before killing. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. That's just another little bit of research that I don't have to do. So you can confirm that they all do it or just that the best ones do it. Can you be a little bit more specific about your answer? Mojo Shop, yay! Thank you for posting the episode that I think is so important. Hello, Checo. Hello, Lovey Rose and everyone else. I've been so disconnected from everything that I haven't had the chance to catch any live. Much love. Well, I'm just glad that you caught this one. And so I'm glad I put your comment on the screen so anybody that hasn't seen you in a while can see that you were indeed here. All right. And we have Rob the Truth. What's going on, man? It's good to see you here. All right. Well, I got down to everybody. I reviewed the meditation course from last week. I apologize that I couldn't do the meditation course today. It failed. It did not occur. So today I just am posting the review here. And I also set up all the links for next week. We are on like Donkey Kong. You know, we are on next week. Oh, Phil Jones is here. I agree with you. I could not agree more. Could not agree more. Okay. Rose, do you meditate to clear your head or do you observe your thoughts like a TV show and detach yourself from them? Okay. So I always thought that I have never meditated a day in my life because I was trying to do the first one. I thought that meditation was clearing your head. But then I recently found out that another form of meditation is that you're observing your own thoughts like a TV show and detach yourself from them. I think that that's what I think that that's even how I've survived 36 years is by observing my thoughts like a TV show and detaching myself so that you can get out of bed and brush your teeth and comb your hair and do all of the basic necessities of life so you don't shrivel up and die and just be consumed by the constant rapid thinking. So if you agree that observing your thoughts like a TV show and then detaching yourself from them and just going about your day is a form of meditation, then I am a pro. But if you have to observe your thoughts like a TV show and detach yourself from them and sit still, well, I guess I could say I do that a lot, but it might be just out of laziness because I should be moving, but I'm really just detaching myself from what I'm procrastinating from. And I just feel like that doesn't count. But maybe I need to accept the fact that maybe I am just bigger and badder and better than I thought, and that actually I am a meditator in all of every day. So it really just depends on your perspective on what meditation is. I used to think that I have never meditated for one moment in my life. Now I think that there are times that I meditate, like when I'm playing the piano or when I have been coloring or when I've been just staring into space and doing exactly that, observing the thoughts like a TV show and detaching yourself. Now, how much effort have I put into clearing my head so that there's nothing? And then maybe where, you know, how they say, like, if a thought comes in, blah, 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 that kind of clearing of the head, I do not believe, I have not set up the conditions necessary for that to be possible. And for that to be possible, I would need to take a complete digital break from my cell phone and computer and not have any responsibilities. And it would be a lot easier too if people out there were not seeking out help so that they will not be injected with poison or fired from their job. I'm not trying to make excuses at all whatsoever. Everyone, especially me, could make time for everything. But I'm just saying that it would be just easier to clear the mind completely if I wasn't feeling like there was always something to do to be helpful. So I'm just going to keep doing that as long as I can. Hi, Ryan. How's it going? I love your cat. I mean, who doesn't love that cat? I love your cat. So cute. Let's see here. Okay, so Cro-Magnon says the thoughts and the voice in your head is Satan, and he can't deceive you if you stay in the present moment. You know what, man? You know what, man? There's a lot of people out there that don't believe in Satan and that don't read the Bible, and that even if they didn't believe in Bible or Satan, if they look at those as allegorical things, they still would look at your comment and be like, "Oh, it's too bad that that religious nut is such a religious nut." But in my path right now, I see what you're saying. And in order to prove that I understand the essence of what you're saying, I'm going to go back to the Islamic version of what you're talking about, the Qareen. Qareen, the Qareen. It's like this thing, this like energy that you're born with, that it's like an evil thing that's like telling on you to God and knows everything about you, all of your lies, and truly messing with you. And if that's true, and I don't just have what allopathic medicine would describe as OCD or ADD or just an extremely creative imagination that doesn't have a quote unquote diagnosis because it's freaking awesome. Or actually, but in your opinion, I have an overactive Karin or an overactive Satan, but I overcome it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I overcome it. And the greater good of the universe, God, or whatever word in English or any other language that represents the desire in my soul that knows the difference between right and wrong, they know the battle that I have with my Karin. My Karin is so fucked up. I think about the worst things. And so I agree with you that the thoughts and the voice in your head is quote unquote not to offend anyone in the world, even though the purpose of my channel is to try and accept ideas, even if they offend you. That thing, that little thing that they talk about when they say Satan, what everyone means when they say Satan, whatever it is, it's real. And that's what I can confirm. I mean, the direct evidence is in the human condition and how humans behave and act. That could only occur if they are influenced by evil. And so let me bring next to Jana back. Yes, perfect timing. Heard your shout out, love. I've been wrapping up the occulted history of vaccines, but I'll have more time soon to explore your content more and connect. Meditation is so important. Yeah, that's why I'm so proud of myself that the one time that you come into my chat, it's that I'm doing this, man. So next week at 5 p.m., Jana, if you want to put that on your schedule, 5 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday, we're going to be doing session 3. So Steve and I will totally, three's the charm. It'll be a good thing. So thank you so much. And everyone do check out her series, www.janaesp.com. I'm giving you the website because she's heavily censored. And so you should always just go to her website in order to find what she's working on. But you could also go to my ROKFIN channel where she gifted me she allowed me to upload her content on my ROKFIN. Like, what the hell? Why are you being so nice? I could get you on there, but she doesn't care. She's just all about putting out her awesome content. So go ahead and support her. Go to her website because she doesn't care about ROKFIN. If you went to her YouTube channel, it's like so few views it will make you barf. And she's the fucking best. So check her out. All right, bit of venom. That inner voice always interrupts meditation. How you quiet that one? Apparently, in this reality, some people don't have an inner voice. Thank you for saying that. Thank you very much for saying that, because at least there's that. I'd rather have something than nothing. I mean, we've got to have something to work with. And maybe that is the purpose of this inner voice as well. I mean, if everything in this creation was created and has a purpose, maybe it's to have that dialogue to tell yourself, do I take the last cookie from the cookie jar? I mean, it's a question. And where does that question come from? Taking that last cookie. Is it the little devil on our shoulder telling us to take the last cookie from the cookie jar? Or are we going to talk to that devil on the shoulder? Are we going to talk to the Karin and are we going to say, you know what? There's other options because I have the discernment to understand that there are betters. There's good, better, best. And I think I'm going to make everyone understand that this is the last cookie. Maybe put out a memo, write a mass email. This is the last cookie. And I think we should all talk about it, because some people may not even want a piece of that cookie. They might think it's too old. They might think that there's preservatives in it. And if only we can open up that line of communication, that's more cookie for the other people who don't give a shit about preservatives, or maybe they drink so much juice and they do so many coffee enemas that one cookie is not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt them. And they'll still have wonderful, amazing bowel movements every day. Hello, Liberty Guy off grid. Oh, this isn't even a show, my friend. I'm just so glad you're even here because I'm just hanging out and started the stream to just tell everyone about next week. So that's that. The only thing that matters about this particular stream is the first 15 minutes, and now I'm just hanging out. So thank you, Cro-Magnum, for agreeing with whatever I said. Satan is the psychological shadow. Exactly, Jana. I'm finally getting it. Why didn't you just explain? Now, you probably did explain it to me 5 or 6 years ago. But see, now I understand that Satan and the shadow and everything that Carl Jung was talking about, and the Karin, which thank God for the cool word that I get to even express and say. Thank God that I even have the ability to voice and speak in different accents whenever I want. Oh my God, perfect timing for a Ceiling Fan Man to jump in and hear me thanking God for the ability to speak in different accents. And he knows I mean it because there's other things I can't do. So if God was like, all right, I'm going to strike her down and make her so that she can never walk, at least she's going to speak in funny accents and she's going to meet Ceiling Fan Man and he's going to understand. And then Jana's going to be there too to understand. And Rose is going to trip out because those are two people from different parts of her life that she wishes we could all hang out. Oh, and by the way, we'd probably all disagree on everything. And that would be okay, which is why we're all friends. This is the hub. This is the hub for communication between people who want to act like adults and accept that people did not have the same information and they're not on the same path. Like, oh my God, I had a fantasy the other day that I was going to be on Pro 777 Radio myself as the guest to just talk about everything I felt. Like my assessment on diet. This is what I think right now out of all the guests and all the opinions. I'm just going to put this on the record about that, and let's go ahead and talk about other different things like government and the legal ideas. Just put it on the record because we put out so much information and I'm never on the mic and I have so many of my own opinions. But there's so many of these broad topics that everyone says that there is a definitive answer, and morality is objective. But when you're talking about personal healing of the body and all that stuff, that is something so complicated. The person has to really, if you don't have all the information, you do not have enough to make a good decision about what's right for you. So since I'm still in that phase, I can't make any decision for anyone else. But where I'm at right now is that there are different ways that one person could heal one thing. Like one person can have an ailment and there are different options they have for healing that. And so that's when you jump to, okay, here's my options and what is the most moral one? And am I going to make that decision? Am I going to take the easy way, the hard way, etc.? So anyway, now I don't have to do a show on Crow 777 Radio because I have my own YouTube channel and I just got that out. And we're going to keep making Crow 777 Radio freaking magic chemistry between Jason and Crow. Okay, here we go. So Chica, okay, here he is. You don't have to believe in Satan, just know he exists and you can't fight a spiritual battle if you don't know your enemy. Wait, no, that's contradictory. Isn't that a contradictory statement? Because if you if If you know he exists, then you believe that he exists. So if you don't believe he exists, then you don't know, right? How can you not believe in something and then know it exists? It's the same problem with God. How can someone know that God is real if they don't believe in him? Oh my God, I'm just feeling the paradox right now. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of this. I'm going to come back to this when I'm not on a public stream. I need to pray about this. Can you know something if you don't believe in it? Really, then you're just in denial, right? Denial is not just a river in Egypt. Okay, here we go. Chico Perez. I mean, if you agree with what I'm saying, then you need to rephrase your comment, is what I'm asking, please. All right, here we go. It's more like that movie Inception when they say that ideas are the most resilient parasite ever. That's what we see today. Total illogical ideas get cemented into the unawares heads. Yeah. And when I read your comment, I ask myself, back when I was watching television, what were the chances that illogical ideas were getting cemented in my head and distracting me from what I needed to do? Oh, so much. I love the fact that I have so much space and I have so much available energy to focus on reality and I create my own illogical ideas. They come from within. I take full responsibility. At least there's that. I really don't think that my illogical ideas are coming from the media because I don't expose myself to it. So that's just another way that someone could live in alignment with full accountability because I actually can't. I have to take responsibility for all the weird shit I think about. Oh, hello, Kelly. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. If you believe in it, it's reality. See, no, I don't know that is true. If you believe in something, that doesn't necessarily mean it's reality. There's a lot of people that believe in stuff that is not true. For them, they think it's reality, but really it's their perception. So we have to understand the definition of words and oh my God, I'm gonna laugh right now because actually I think that is English your second language? Don't you speak Dutch? Hoe gaat het met jou? Are you in the Netherlands? Because that's a problem. Another problem too is that I'm being really nitpicky about language here, and really you just may be speaking casually in your second language. And I'm not even saying that your comment looks like you're speaking in a second language. I'm only saying it because I remember speaking Dutch to you. So that's why I'm curious. But I'm not putting you on the spot like you can't speak English, obviously. I'm just really, really nitpicking the comments here for some reason today. I did not plan on doing this for 40 minutes. Hey, Annie D. I'm having a great time, by the way. I think I got really pumped up because Jana's here or lurking around, possibly in and out, and Ceiling Fan Man, and that we're talking about really cool stuff. All right, can someone assure me heart transplant is way easier and more successful these days for a person double jabbed this year and who has a defib implant already? Oy vey. If you're asking for someone to do that, you cannot ask me because I have not researched heart transplants. All I know is that the heart that is being transplanted would be transplanted. It would be transferred from one place to another, probably using DMSO. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that that is what DMSO is used for? Because when it freezes something, the cells don't explode. And that's why DMSO is so magical. And that is why you should go to www.healingwithdmso.com, written by Amanda Vollmer, who you could say Dr. Amanda Vollmer because she went to naturopath school and she has that license and she can call herself that. But she's so mad at what they've done. Even the naturopaths, the allopaths, the naturopaths, all these clubs of people that just end up selling out. She's so mad at them, and I am too. And so I don't know how much she cares about people calling her doctor, but I just want people to know that she has the credentials to say Screw you to the system, allopathic medicine, and fucking any naturopath that is trying to tell people to inject poison into their body. I mean, what an insult. What an insult. www.healingwithdmso.com. I didn't write that book. I never could write that book. If I wrote that book, my whole channel will probably be explaining it. And that's why you should follow Amanda Vollmer, Dr. Amanda Vollmer, if you please, if you wish, if that's your mood, if you want to demonstrate the background knowledge it takes for her to say that it is time for everyone to stand up and stop thinking that we can be possibly living in a world where human beings would need to inject themselves with poison. What the hell? How am I still alive without this magic poison? I don't know, but I am. And I'm going to keep trying to explain to people that you don't need to do it forever. All right, let's see here. What's the next comment? I'm sorry that I couldn't assure you that a heart transplant is way easier and more successful these days. I mean, as far as surgeries go, I guess they're getting better and better. Surgeries, that's different. So I will assure you that my stepdad's a plastic surgeon. He can put people back together again. It's really when you're trying to heal a disease that they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't understand the cause of disease. They don't know how to heal the body. They just know how to treat symptoms. So I'm asking here, is the heart transplant a symptom changer? Will transplanting the heart remove a symptom? Or is it so fucked up that there needs to be a new heart? I mean, people have to accept that at some point, like in my case, there are certain things that have occurred that I will never be able to replace. My spleen, for example. But I know that the energy of the spleen is there. I know that the energy of the spleen is still there. And I know that energy of the spleen is probably connected through some kind of vortex voltage thing to some tooth that I have, and then it goes all the way around. And so it's still, the energy is still there, but the physical spleen is not there. There's nothing I can do. And therefore, that makes me susceptible and different. And then maybe I'm going to need a heart transplant one day. Who knows? I can't judge, but surgeries have gotten better and better and better and better. I've had so many surgeries, and they're fucking idiots for even doing the surgeries on me, but they did them. One of them was botched. I would say that one of them was definitely botched and permanent damage. But the heart transplant people are really cocky and they don't get to do them as much as the kinds of surgeries that I've had. So I think you're actually going to get the best surgeons, the best Humpty Dumpty back together again people, stitch them up. I'm not trying to sound nonchalant about it. I'm actually really thinking hard about how I would feel if I needed a heart transplant, because that is a serious matter. And I understand why you would want that assurance. So, you know me, I'm just telling you like it is. I think that if someone was getting a heart transplant today, as opposed to 20 years ago, I would feel a lot better. But it is a huge shame that someone would even need a heart transplant in the first place. And I would hope that there is a way, but you know that, Annie. I mean, you're not coming here to say that this person hasn't already looked into alternatives. So here we go. Belief is the enemy of knowing. Things exist in this world without believing in them, including Satan. Okay, yeah, that was well stated. That was really well stated. I don't know why you didn't state it so well before. Ceiling fan man, your incredible comment just proves that maybe you didn't think your first comment through. What if I hadn't prompted you to say it better and then someone else read your comment and was led astray? We have to be so careful about what we do on the internet. Anxiety will not hurt me, not letting it. Good mantra. Good mantra for the day. Gosh, way to reality smack me. Way to really throw me a curveball. You ask me a question and I'm trying to be profound about it and real about it. And then you hit me with the hardest thing of all. Damn it. Why did you have to do that? All right, let's see here. I didn't eat for what? 130 days. I made freshly made fruit juices every day, mostly watermelon. Okay. Wow. It really heals you from the mucus. You have 30 pounds of cesspool in there. Oh my gosh. I really need to try the non-mucus diet. I feel like I'm not even a person anymore and I'm just walking mucus. I'm walking, wait, I'm not even walking anymore. I'm just rolling mucus and lots of mucus and I think lots of parasitic, harmful bacteria. Oh my gosh, I wish there was a way to find out if I had a tapeworm or some kind of worm. I wish there was a way to find out. You know, the kind that lives in you forever, the kind that was in the book Filth by Irving Welsh, the same guy who wrote Train Spotting. Uh, yeah, maybe the tapeworm is what's giving me all the thoughts. I really believe that that could be true. It's a combination of a tapeworm and Satan, and that watermelon will save the day. No, I really do believe that watermelon and fruit juice is Robert Morse, Dr. Robert Morse, who I think we should have on the show. But if I have Dr. Robert Morse on the show, then what are all the people that healed themselves with meat going to do? They're going to freaking shit themselves. But the vegans who shit themselves, if we have a carnivore healer, they're going to have a much better time shitting themselves. So just think about that. You know, the proof is in the pudding. Ha ha ha. All right. So, you don't eat. You have to force yourself so you don't go out crying all the time. Still do just as much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're in a position where you feel like crying at all for any reason because I know I used to not be a crier. I used to be strong. I really was. I was a real strong motherfucker who never cried for any reason. I was so hardcore, but then something broke me and I don't remember exactly where it was. Maybe it was in 2015 when I got my spleen out. Or maybe it was 2016. I don't know. But now I cry a lot. And I would like to go back to the way I was before so that Jason could meet the person I was before. But maybe I was supposed to be in touch with my emotions this whole time. And maybe now that I know how to cry and feel my emotions, maybe I'm not going to get cancer. And I would have had cancer before being some badass strong motherfucker. Because they always say, oh my gosh, why did that strong person get cancer? You know? But then they also say, why did that nicest person in the world get cancer? So let's just stop talking about cancer when it comes to why. Because I feel like cancer is just, you know, what it is. It's covering up something bad. So it's usually involved with why people die in the end, even at the real healthiest people, like what actually causes death. So it's such a deep topic. I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of the most epic panel of people to have on here to talk about cancer, like so many. A cancer panel. Maybe that's in the works one day. Why did I bring up cancer? Well, because it's on my mind, obviously, because I'm thinking about cancer a lot since Austin Walters. He's the biomagnetism therapist from episode 216 and 304. His wife, Christy, she just passed away at the beginning of November. So it's been a month and I just can't believe it that that it happened and it wasn't supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen to anyone. And you hear about it happening and then life keeps going on and you want the world to stop and for everyone to acknowledge. And I'd never even met her. I didn't even know her. And I know Austin. And just knowing that his wife is gone, it breaks my heart. And you don't even know if you're supposed to like, shut the fuck up, Rose. Why are you even talking about it? Maybe if I keep bringing it up, and he hears it, he'll be like, you're drawing it out. But nobody who I've ever met who has lost a spouse ever wanted to stop talking about them. So I got to just wait for feedback on that one. And also, everybody's different. Everybody's different. You're never going to get it right. And so, when you're speaking from the heart, that's all you can do. And then just try to learn from the consequences of that. All right. We have Marky Rizzo. Hey, how's you going? Cro Magnum, you watching John Rose? I don't even know who that is. I was right. Yes, Dutch. How's it going? Oh my gosh, it's just been so long since I've spoken Dutch that I'm just afraid to even start. Ik ben bang. Ik ben bang or bang? I know it's spelled B-A-N-G, but I can't even remember the right pronunciation. All right, so you lost weight to the degree that your shoes, hat, and jewelry like rings are loose. Oh, I know how that feels. Well, if you really feel like you are becoming emaciated and unhealthy, then you should pound some coconut butter or something from David Avocado Wolf, and lots of avocados and stuff like that. Or just make yourself a really, really, really high caloric shake just once a day. Uh, and just try and do something once a day to just get some nutrients in you. And I think you'll survive. But long term, you know, I don't know, meditate with me once a week and let's figure this shit out. That's what I'm saying, is that I feel like I am like an accidental anorexic because I'm so afraid of getting sick. I'm absolutely terrified of getting sick. And so it's easier just to like eat the same simple things over and over, or eat less and not be satisfied. But then at least, so yeah, that's what allopathic medicine and surgeries and all of that stuff do. Okay. Bubs, Bird, Bear. How's it going? Oh my gosh, thank you so much for your wonderful comment. It's so good to put your comment on the screen and see your face. And Bubs, Bird, Bear. I like your tongue twister name. Oh, your English is not the worst. I don't even think anybody on YouTube would know that it was your second language if I didn't bring it up. Yes, DMSO is magic. Woohoo. All right. Well, yeah, tell them about DMSO, but that's not going to help with the heart transplant. That was just a little piece of trivia that's how it's used. That's what it's used for. They don't tell you that it's a healing remedy. That's how they use it to transport organs. But the fact that it can transport organs should tell you something. And then also her book should tell you something. And yeah, you have her book. Cool. I have a bunch of her products. Oh, he doesn't like your husband doesn't like it. Thinks you're crazy. Oh man. Well, I thought I was crazy about the Brown's gas machine, and I just burned myself so bad a couple weeks ago. It was almost third degree. If I went to the wound care clinic, which I have done before in the past, they would say it was a bad second degree. There's first degree, and then there's two versions of a second degree. And this was a bad second on my freaking foot because I accidentally spilled boiling water on my foot. And I guess a normal person would flinch, and you could even get away with it for like a millisecond. So it really goes to show the difference between like being splashed with boiling hot water and then boiling hot water and not knowing that it's there. And so, anyway, that would usually send me into a huge panic attack of anxiety because I would know that I wouldn't be able to go swimming for months and it would be a huge inconvenience on my life. And I would have to go to the wound care center twice a week. And this whole time that I've been using this Brown's gas, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better, but this could be a placebo and it could be all of it could be the supplements that I've been taking that is making me feel good. It could be that my gut biome is currently up better. Who knows? But now that I had this burn on my foot, it's good to go. I could go swimming if I wanted to. I'm not wearing a Band-Aid. I'm not even putting the triple antibiotic on it. It is literally miraculous. So I would recommend this machine for like any other paraplegic or quadriplegic or someone who has like neuropathy that causes them to sometimes get horrible burns that take forever to heal. Oh my gosh, see, this is the devil on my shoulder. My Karine is showing up and making jokes and saying like, oh my gosh, how can I profit off of this miracle? But like, should I like make videos of someone putting cigarettes out on my legs? For weirdos that would like that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that out loud. But that's the example of the devil. It wasn't just this horrible, disgusting idea that I was coming up with just to try to demonstrate how awesome this machine is. But the fact that my idea also included the profit off of it, oh my gosh, how bad was that? Oh my gosh, you guys, that was so evil. That was so evil. But all I'm trying to say is that the Brown's gas machine is really, really good. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that I want to show, I'm just trying to make a joke. I was trying to make a joke about how quickly it healed, because then I could pump out those videos so fast if I was a sick individual that wanted to profit off of other sick individuals who wanted to see someone get burned. I would be able to turn those videos over pretty quickly. I'm just using that business perspective to make a joke to give the hydrogen gas machine an outstanding review. Is there anyone out there who forgives me for the sins that I have made in my mind? All right, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more, because now we have flat accord music in the house. My Santa Barbara brother, how are you doing? I see you in chats all the time. And the other day you said something so funny that I can't remember, but it's so good to see you. And Truth Loops is here. Trust God, even though we do not understand. God works while we wait. That is profound. That's so good that I almost feel like ending the stream right now on a high note with that comment. Because how could I ever make up for what just happened in my mind publicly? I think talking about like selling videos of being burned. But it's true. We don't understand why we have the thoughts that we do, and we don't know why we think funny things. And I'm grateful for all of the funny things I think of. And so I'll take it. I'll take all the legitimately funny, good jokes that make people laugh. I'll take those with the bad jokes that you shouldn't say out loud, and the weird stuff that nobody would understand. And I'll also give another shout out to Austin Walters, who will probably never hear this, because I did share with him another joke that popped into my mind that nobody would understand, that required paragraphs of explanation. But I did share with him one of those just to give him an example, and he agreed with me that it was not a joke worth saying. It was funny, but should remain in the mind, because no one else has those paragraphs of an explanation, so it would not make sense. All right, why not just live out the natural course of your life, and when it's over, it's over? Yes, exactly, GQ. Yes, that is the way it should be. That is how life should be. Every day we wake up and it could be the last day, so you give it the best you've got. But there's one problem. Here's the problem, GQ. We have evil human beings that are screwing with the natural course of our lives, dude. Don't you think? I want to stop those people, especially the ones spraying us like bugs. You know what I mean? Like, dude, in a perfect world, that is it. Natural course of your life. You die when you die. You eat the apple off the tree. You walk around you walk around the field as many times as you're going to walk around it. You're going to take care. You're going to reproduce as much as you're going to do. And then you die. But now I just want to get in a battle so that people can have a fair playing field. Because if you're eating the apple off the tree on a field when they're spraying you with like a bug, then it's not natural, right? It's not natural. Okay, so let's go on. ERs are a mess, and the damn masks tests, and I've avoided tests, but not him. All negative so far. What did you mean by him? Who's him? Was that a spelling error? Him. He has not avoided those things, right? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad that his tests are negatives. His fake tests that don't prove anything. Even the CDC proves and admits that those tests don't do anything. I mean, why am I even saying this? Who's going to be listening to this after an hour? Who's still going to be listening to this who doesn't already like love me as a friend? So I'm not really saying anything new here to anyone. But if someone's just jumping in, hey, guess what? Guess what? My name's Rose, and the PCR test, it's poppycock. Yes, it's so true. Everyone should be grateful. I understand my grandparents now. I understand them. I understand why they were appreciative of that. When I was a kid, I was like, ew. What's wrong with you guys, old people? Healing with a carnivore diet, I don't believe that is possible. That is your belief. I'm just telling you what people have said, okay? Don't shoot me, all right? We both know which is the more ethical diet, all right? I'm just saying what someone said. All right, what's going on, Miss Maze? How you doing, my friend? I love you so much. You are my friend, and you are a punk rocker chick, and we need to mosh in this life or another. All right, let's start wrapping it up. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of the comments here. I see Slow-Mo's in the house. What's going on? She would be a good guest. I don't know if she'd be interested. Would it be beneficial for her? She's pretty famous already. Uh, I've been rejected a couple times recently. I was recently rejected for Co777 radio guest, Dr. Gilbert, who I thought I was going to get because of my connection to Mandara Cromwell, who is his friend. But it is no big deal that apparently Dr. Gilbert has to put all of his time and energy and focus into a series that he's doing on for Gaia right now. That is a legitimate thing that takes a lot of energy, very important. And actually, you know what? I'm glad that the information is going out on Gaia because that is a bigger platform. And you know what? Fuck. If all I care about is getting the information out, then I'm happy for that. Maybe after that, he'll come on Co777 Radio some other time, or maybe I can get David Weiss or Jason Lindgren or someone who knows Jay Widener to be like, hey, by the way, you're with Gaia, right? Wait, I don't know if Jay Geidner is still with Gaia. Is he still affiliated with Gaia? Anyway, Dr. Gilbert, you're the bomb, and we want you on the show someday. And Jennifer Daniels is the bomb too, and maybe she would be a good guest to come on and talk about turpentine. It's about time. Last time we talked about turpentine was with Dr. Kaufman, and that's probably where that's one of the places he probably learned about turpentine is from Jennifer Daniels. Dr. Kaufman knows Jennifer Daniels. When I hired Dr. Kaufman, when I first met him before he became famous, he actually said to me, I'm not lying. If he was sitting right next to me right now, he would be smiling right now. He, as a very professional man, being that I'm a girl too, he was just, as he's such a good person and a good doctor, that he also said, you may want to talk to Jennifer Daniels and not me. That's what Dr. Kaufman said. He said, you may want to talk to Jennifer Daniels instead of me. That's what he said. And I was like, no, I don't want to. I want to talk to you. So I did that. And then it really helped me. He helped me a lot. So you know what? Now is the time. I should get that back on my radar. Thank you very much. Man, I thought I was just going to mention you for a second and say hi. And then you had to come in with this great information to remind me. Oh my goodness. Yes. Crying. Was Bailey a friend or an animal? It doesn't matter. All the same, right? They're all friends. When our friends die and when our animals die, it's just terrible. All right. Here we go. Back to Truth Loops. I want to end this stream soon, so I better hurry up with each individual comment. But death is but a door. We are born alone. We enter the sleep realm alone. We must go through death's door alone. We are not our bodies, my friends. Very interesting comment and very self-evident. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. But what I'm really going about is the sleep part, because I actually don't think I can go to sleep alone. Like, I don't think that I really ever am going to sleep truly alone because I have some kind of sound that I'm clutching to until the very last moment. And that's, I think, part of my insomnia. You know, I used to think I couldn't sleep unless all of these things were going on, like noises. I used to actually put on the news in order to fall asleep because I wanted that monotonous, meaningless voice to lull me to sleep. But yeah, the sleep realm is so fascinating to me because I just don't ever feel like I sleep very much. I don't feel like I go into that realm. I don't feel like I dream very much. If I do dream, it's a special occasion. So the salts are very important. More talking about bongs and crying, bongs with tear water, avocados with a spoon, and DE selenium. Let's keep going down. We've got Flat Accord Music channel up in here. Don't forget to click and sub to flat accord music, and he even wrote a song dedicated to me. Thank you so much, my friend. I love you too. We're going down, we're going down, we're going down. We have Flat Adam. How's it going? We're going down, we're going down. We're going to make it to the bottom of all the comments. Thank you guys for coming down here. Dark humor gets you through. That is so true. It did through some really dark times in my life. And now, it probably still is. All problems are temporary. Yes, it is so true. Everything is temporary. The one thing we can count on is change. Oh, hello, Voynich. I love you. You are a philosopher. You really contemplate on life, and you also are never afraid to speak your mind. And I think everybody should be like that. And everybody's happy to see you. Jay Armstrong, the entirety of this existence could all be part of the proverbial cosmic cycle. It is. It definitely is. If there is a cosmic cycle, then our experience is part of it. And how could we not be in a cosmic cycle of some kind? I mean, everything's in cycles. Everything is in cycles. So the seasons, the sun, the moon, the wandering luminaries, everything's my emotions. The vibe of this freaking chat, like everything has a cycle, right? All right. Glowbusters currently. I know I need to get off of here. I didn't mean to go live during Glowbusters. I wanted to just update about the meditation and then to say the thing for next week. And it's been over an hour. Somebody help me. Help me end my stream. But I've just got too many awesome comments. Very good. Very jealous. So what kinds of things do you ingest? Or are you just lucky that you're spiritually dream worthy? History lectures, yeah, that would be a good way to fall asleep as well. What is Jason? He likes to put on Art Bell, and what else? Like really old stuff, like Bill Cooper and even Jordan Maxwell. That's really good falling asleep material if you've heard it a million times. Judge Judy, oh my gosh, you're taking me back. I forgot about that show existing. You dream every night, you just don't remember them. Try to get EMF blockers and set them near your bed. You're right. You're right. No, you're right. It's probably why. If I would just turn off my phone and turn off my computer like everybody I know does, it's just common knowledge, the one thing I've just never done. What if I finally went to a Faraday cage for a week and then I could walk again? Seriously. It's like the one thing I can't get away from. That's why I want to go on my vow of silence nature solo hike, solo sit, and feed squirrels. And maybe May in the spring, I will plan like a 48-hour vow of silence where I just go into nature with all of the. We got to use our survival gear for something, right? I'll just bring out my massive batteries so I can have a fan. The point is to stay out there for an extended period of time and not move and just get the squirrels to know that I'm the one that's been feeding them for this whole entire year. I am the one, not the tree. They're not falling from the tree. It's me. I would like to introduce myself to them, and they're such scared little individuals. And also the crows. The crows know I'm feeding them. They wait for me to go inside before they eat. And we have to figure out that issue because I know that, well, maybe their children will love me, the crow's children. I just got to keep feeding the peanuts and just have faith. Exactly. My feeding of the peanuts is like a prayer. It's just like I'm throwing the peanuts and I'm just having faith that nature is going to come to me and that I will have my opportunity to go to it. I have my patio and I'm always looking at that tree. And I know that one day I'm going to get to that tree. I'm going to sit next to that particular tree and it's going to feel extremely triumphant. There will be power metal. All right, so here we go. We're talking more about dreams. Lots of talking about dreams in the chat and solo strolls. Bell having to hear a noise. Yeah, I just ordered a noise machine because I figured that actually turning on the fan was like taking up too much energy, and that I might as well just use a digital thing. Such a hypocrite. with this whole digital world, it's like, it's just, you gotta love it or hate it at the same time. So that's that. Let's all do a silent prayer meditation before we go to bed. That seems like a well accepted practice that many people could agree upon. And shout out to Globebusters. I am very sorry that I went live while you were live. I really believe that what you guys are doing is so important, and you guys are the best, and it's the best show ever. And this was supposed to just be a side thing to only take 5 minutes, or actually like 15 minutes tops. But then I started reading comments, and so obviously this kind of content does not compare to the information that helps to expose the biggest deception of all time, which is the globe lie, which I actually believe in with all of my heart. And I'm talking to you, Jana, if you're still listening. If you're still listening, you said something about the seasons in your perfect vaccine video. But the part about flat Earth was actually not it was not a good example. And so that's why we should talk about it sometime. Because if I'm wrong, then we could work that out together, and then I can move on with my life, But until then, Glowbusters, you have a great show. And I appreciate everything that you did to help me understand things. And I don't know if anybody heard, but there were also, my cousin Mike sent me, all right, I'm really going to end the stream after this, but everybody, here is a call to action. My cousin Mike, who I love and respect for everything, especially his understanding of the deception of the COVID hoax. But unfortunately, when I told him about flat Earth, he just didn't buy it. And he sent me an article. Explaining that somebody has, satisfied a challenge that a flat earther put out, and blah, blah, blah. And now a flat earther owes however much money. And guess who that Globey was from the article? Well, it's Wolfie. And you know what? Wolfie this, Wolfie that. People always used to mention him, and I would be like, oh, that's very interesting, whatever. I don't care, because I don't know him personally, but I actually do know something now. And that is that Wolfie, and I'm not talking about someone right now, like calling someone out for being a shill. I'm just saying Wolfie, the individual human being who is also probably, uh, you know, probably just wrong, and just probably has good intentions. uh Wolfie, you made a mistake. Wolfie, you made a mistake when you said that the double sun, spirit sun, source sun, whatever you're going to call it, was a reflection in the telescope. Hi, Jason. I'm live right now, but I'm not on camera. But I'm just saying right now, I'm saying something out loud to the world, but especially Wolfie, the pilot, who does not believe the Earth is flat. He made a mistake when he said that the source sun, the spirit sun, or we could also call it the double sun. He said that footage of whoever he was looking at, whether it was Chris Van Maitre or Approachable 7, he said it was a reflection in the telescope. And then boom, that was that. And all of his followers accepted that because they don't think about things for themselves, or they may not have actually looked at the original footage. They only look at the video he's putting out. So that makes me sad, because if they looked at the footage that he showed on his screen, what he was showing was a reflection, and it was two identical shapes. But what our footage shows is that the second sun that we don't see is clearly a different color. It looks completely different, and one of them is even like a little bit blurred even. It just simply is not a reflection, and they put objects at the end of the telescope, like a long, wrapping paper roll, Merry Christmas, in front of it, to show it's not lens flare and was not a reflection. You think these people with hydrogen alpha telescopes don't know how to use their equipment? You got to be kidding me. So anyway, that was just in case he didn't realize that maybe he didn't look into it enough, or do a better job proving it to be insignificant, or or you're just trying to trying to misrepresent. So I don't know what your intentions are, Wolfie. I don't know if I could be a match for a conversation with you personally. but I always am willing to learn. So if you want to talk to me about the double sun, talk to me about it, because that is my little obsession right now. You know, if I found out that the earth was a globe through you and that I was wrong all this time, still I need someone to explain to me. Explain to me this footage. You have not done that yet successfully. So look at this article. You know, you could probably find it. I forgot where I have it. It's either in my text messages or my email. You can reach out if you want to see it. But the point is that, you know, that's annoying when they come out and say that they proved something, and then you read the article and like nothing has been done. Nothing has been proven one way or the other. It's just some people trying to make other people look bad, and obviously the mainstream media is trying to make all these people look better. And I just don't understand. Someone answer me this before I end my stream at 1 hour and 15 minutes and 37 seconds. Someone tell me, why can't we get Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy, or any high level Elon Musk, any high level astrophysicist to talk to us? Really think about that. I know it's easy to say, oh, these people are so busy, they have all the time in their world, but flat earth doesn't seem to be going away, right? So why not just settle the score with one of these gods of science? Let them come forth and speak to someone even like me, and you know that they have time. All right, I'm telling you from experience. Look, I run a big podcast. I have hundreds and hundreds of emails. I don't know if people believe me, but it's true. I know now what it's like to be a public figure. From the teeny tiny little minuscule sliver that I have a taste, and I just know what 24 hours a day entails. And so does every other single mother or every person who works a corporate job. Every human being only has 24 hours a day. We all know that. But in this particular case, if they were real and if they cared, they would settle the score today. They would talk to Bob Nodell, they would talk to David Weiss, or they would talk to little old me or something, or any kind of legitimate flat earther who knows what they're talking about, who's confident, like Nathan Thompson or Austin Whitsitt, or even Kelsey. Take Kelsey back. Take Kelsey back, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Take her back. She could be on the edge. All right. So just, you know what? It's because they're actors and because they're full of shit. That is the answer. That is the answer to my question. It was a rhetorical question, and that is the correct one right there. They refuse to. They can't control the lie if they actually have to defend it without their propaganda machine propping them up. Because what a lot of people who refuse to look into flat earth do is they refuse to look into the equations and see what the variables are. For example, we can see too far and blah blah blah. Their answer to the fact that we can't see too far is that standard refraction is a thing, and R stands for radius, and we've only drilled 8 miles. Hi, Jason.
I'm going. Love you.
I love you too. All right, I'm really going to end the stream now. I hope that everyone has a beautiful day, and I will see you all next week for the meditation, which after this 1 hour and 18 minutes, we all know I clearly need, and I hope you'll join me. Cheers, everyone. Mwah. Goodbye.